James chapter 3 says, the tongue is a small thing, but what enormous damage it can do. Just as a tiny spark can burn up a great forest, the tongue is a flame of fire. That part of your body is full of wickedness and can poison everything else in your life. It is set on fire by hell itself and can turn our whole lives into a blazing flame of destruction and disaster. This is Lakewood Church of the Ozarks in Branson, West Missouri, a spirit-filled, Bible-believing church for the entire family. We're in a series on the miracle of mercy, the mission of Jesus Christ. We've been looking at the main causes of personal failures in our life as demonstrated through the denial of Christ by Peter. So far, we have seen the first two reasons for personal failure, and that is we overestimate our strengths and we also worry about what other people think about us. The third reason is that we speak without thinking. This may be the most common cause of all of our failures in our life. We put our mouth in motion before we put our mind in gear. We speak impulsively. We speak rashly, and we speak in haste, and we speak thoughtlessly. We never pause to consider the damage of what we're about to say, what is coming out, and what it will do to the lives of others. And when we just speak impulsively, the true reason is we don't think rationally, we think emotionally. But most of the time, when you talk, you're not thinking about what you're talking about. You're not thinking what's the unintended consequences of what I'm about to say. We never stop and say, Lord, do you want me to say this? You're not asking God, is this the right thing to say at the right time? Or do you just say whatever you feel? And that's what happened here with Peter. Peter is clearly nervous. He's uptight. He's fearful. Just think of the crisis that is going on with Jesus. He has been arrested. He's back behind this wall, and he's going through a mock trial and being tortured. And Peter is on the other side of the wall in the courtyard wondering what's going on. Then all of a sudden, a stranger comes up and says to Peter, "You were with that guy." Peter says, No. Now his anger comes out. Matthew chapter 26. Then Peter went out and entered of the courtyard. And there another woman saw him and said to those standing there, "This man was with Jesus of Nazareth." Again, Peter denied it. And this time he swore. He even cussed. He swore an oath and he said, "I don't even know this man." But after a while, the men who had been standing there came over to Peter and said, "We know that you're one of them because of your Galilean accent. It gives you away." Peter lost his temper and started cursing and swearing. He shouted, "I don't know the man." Immediately, he heard the rooster crow. Swearing is always a sign of frustration. Swearing is always a sign of fear. And when you get afraid, you go emotional. You're not thinking rationally. You're not thinking logically. You're not thinking reasonably. You're thinking emotionally. When people swear, it's because they've given up on their own logic and they have resorted to their emotions. He's not thinking, he's speaking without thinking. The Bible says this causes so many problems in our lives. As I mentioned earlier, James chapter 3, the tongue is a small thing, but what enormous damage it can do. We all know that to be true. We've seen relationships damaged. We've seen business deals damaged. We've seen our futures damaged, all because of misplaced words. The Bible says your tongue is set on fire by hell itself and can turn our whole lives into a blazing flame of destruction and disaster. So we overestimate our strengths, we fear the disapproval of others, and we speak without thinking. Peter did all three of these, and he had the biggest failure of his life. And we do all three of the same, and we too suffer failures in our life. Jesus, you said, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Change our hearts so that our words would be pleasing to you. This is Pastor Cecil W. Todd of Lakewood Church in Branson, West Missouri, a Spirit-filled, Bible-believing church for the entire family.